A long time ago, in a small village called Haripur, a farmer named Ramu lived with his family. Ramu had enough land to farm, but he had no animals to farm. One day, at the village fair, Ramu saw a beautiful and strong bull. There was a special sparkle in the bull's eyes, which Ramu liked very much. Ramu bought him and named him Moti. Moti was very hardworking and loyal. He quickly got along with Ramu, and a deep friendship developed between the two. Ramu worked hard in the fields every day, pulled the plow, and helped Ramu in every possible way. Ramu also took great care of Moti. He fed him well, gave him water, and took care of his cleanliness. Moti and Ramu got along very well. Their friendship became the talk of the town. Everyone appreciated Ramu and Moti's hard work and their mutual love. But their happy life was not forever. He had to face many difficulties in the times to come. Suddenly, a heavy flood hit the village. The flood destroyed many farms in the village, and many people became homeless. Ramu's farm was also completely ruined. He was left with no crops, and all his hard work was washed away. Ramu and his family were deeply saddened by this disaster. Ramu was left with no option now. He had to think of something to save his family. He asked the head of his village for help, but the head also had limited resources. Instead of giving up, Ramu did not lose courage and looked towards Moti. Moti's eyes also reflected the same determination and courage. Ramu, along with Moti, started repairing their fields. They worked hard day and night and gradually succeeded in preparing the fields again. But this process took them a lot of time, and their financial condition became even worse. Ramu no longer even had enough food to eat. Ramu's financial condition has become so bad that he had to sell his bull Moti to run his household. Some people in the village were advising Ramu to sell Moti so that he could earn some money and support his family. But it was very difficult for Ramu to take this decision. Moti was not just a bull, but his best friend and helper. Ramu thought about this for many days, and finally he decided to sell Moti. He was very sad, but he thought that it was for the good of his family. One day, Ramu called a merchant and talked about selling Moti. The merchant saw Moti and agreed to buy him, seeing his strength and hard work. But Moti understood that Ramu was going to sell him. Moti decided to prove his loyalty. He quietly left his place at night and headed towards the forest of the village. He thought that if he lost himself, Ramu would not be able to sell him, and he would save Ramu's financial condition from getting worse. When Ramu woke up in the morning, he saw that Moti was missing. He became very upset and started looking for Moti. He searched all over the village, but Moti was nowhere to be found. Ramu also tried to find Moti in the forest outside the village, but he could not find him there either. Ramu was heartbroken. He thought he had lost his best friend. Ramu tried to live without Moti, but every day he missed Moti. He tried to go to the forest many times to find Moti, but every time he returned disappointed. Meanwhile, Moti was living in the forest. He faced the difficult conditions there and kept himself alive. Moti missed Ramu a lot, but he maintained his loyalty and gave up the idea of returning to Ramu. Moti befriended many animals in the forest and started his new life. One day, Ramu went to the forest again to look for Moti. He called out to Moti with all his might. Suddenly, Ramu's eyes welled up with tears on hearing Moti's voice. He ran in Moti's direction and hugged him. Moti was also very happy to see Ramu. Both had tears of joy in their eyes. Ramu brought Moti back to the village and took care of him. The villagers also rejoiced to see this reunion. Ramu and Moti started working hard in their fields again, and soon their hard work paid off. Their crops started to grow well, and their financial condition also started to improve. Ramu set a new example in the village with his hard work and Moti's loyalty. Their story spread throughout the village, and everyone started praising them. Ramu and Moti taught that any difficulty can be overcome with true loyalty and hard work. Time passed, and the friendship between Ramu and Moti became even deeper. His story is still told in Haripur village, and this story teaches everyone that with true loyalty, hard work, and courage, we can overcome any difficulty.
If you like the story, then subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.